Queen Ifrica's legacy was never built on silence. It was carved from conviction, controversy, and a voice that refused to whisper when truth demanded to be shouted. Known to many as Faya Muma, she stands as one of reggae's most uncompromising cultural figures, an artist who used music not only to entertain, but to confront, educate, and provoke. Her career has been crowned with awards, global acclaim, and icon status, yet shadowed by public backlash, legal battles, and deeply personal family trauma. In Queen Ifrica's world, legacy and challenge walk side by side, neither ever far from the other. Long before international stages and Billboard charts, she was born Ventrice Morgan on March 25, 1975, in the hills of Montego Bay, Jamaica. The land itself seemed to shape her spirit, elevated, rooted, and watchful. Her mother wanted to give her an African name at birth, but the lingering weight of colonial influence discouraged that choice. Still, resistance found a way. The name Ifrica was later given by her mother as an affirmation of Rastafarian faith and cultural consciousness, a quiet act of reclamation that would foreshadow the woman she would become. She grew up primarily under the care of her mother and stepfather, surrounded by a supportive Rastafarian community that emphasized identity, spirituality, and self-awareness. Though she was the daughter of ska legend Derek Morgan, that relationship remained distant through much of her childhood. The man whose voice helped shape Jamaican music history was for years a stranger in her personal life. It was not until her 20s that she truly came to know him, and even then, their connection would later become one of the most painful and public fractures of her life. Queen Ifrica has often had to clarify her lineage in an industry obsessed with musical bloodlines. While Derek Morgan has several children, she is not related to the members of Morgan heritage, a common misconception she has repeatedly addressed. They are the children of Denroy Morgan. She is the daughter of Derek Morgan, a distinction she has never allowed to be blurred. Her formal education unfolded in Montego Bay, though specific school names rarely appear in her biographies. Instead, her story emphasizes a different kind of schooling, one learned outside classrooms. She is widely described as a self-taught musician, absorbing rhythm and message from her surroundings. Nyabingi chants, jazz phrasing, and reggae's heartbeat all fed her creative instincts. Music was not something she merely studied, it was something she lived. At age 20, her path shifted decisively. In 1995, she entered and won a talent contest at Club Inferno in Montego Bay. The victory was more than a trophy, it was an opening. Soon after, she found herself performing on the massive stage of Reggae Sumfest, where her commanding presence signaled the arrival of a new cultural voice. Her true vocational training began in 1998, when she joined Tony Rebel's Flames crew. Under Rebel's mentorship, Queen Ifrica refined not just her vocals, but her purpose. He helped sharpen her stagecraft, discipline her songwriting, and channel her fire into what would become known as her rebel music, songs rooted in consciousness, resistance, and moral confrontation. As her career grew, so did her role beyond music. Without holding a university degree, she became a youth counselor and later a child ambassador for Jamaica's Office of the Children's Advocate. Her advocacy focused on child rights and protecting victims of abuse, a mission that mirrored the themes she would later explore in her most controversial work. By the late 2000s, Queen Ifrica had emerged as a leading figure in the Roots revival movement, blending reggae and dancehall with lyrics that were often uncomfortable but impossible to ignore. Her breakthrough came between 2007 and 2009, with songs like Below the Waist and Daddy. The latter, which addressed child abuse, struck a nerve across Jamaica and the diaspora, earning praise for its bravery and criticism for reopening wounds many prefer to keep hidden. Her debut major label album, Montego Bay, 2009, released under VP Records, anchored her as a serious force in reggae. Years later, Climb, 2017, would debut at #1 on the Billboard Reggae Albums chart, confirming that her voice still resonated powerfully on the global stage. Recognition followed. In 2010, she swept the International Reggae and World Music Awards, IRAWMA, earning Artiste of the Year, Songwriter of the Year, and Most Educational Artiste. She headlined festivals worldwide, from Summer Jam in Germany to the Sierra Nevada World Music Festival in the United States and Reggae Sundance in Holland. In 2023, her contributions were formally cemented when she was inducted into the Reggae and Dancehall Music Entertainment Hall of Fame as an icon. Behind the scenes, her personal life was deeply intertwined with the industry. For 23 years, she was in a partnership, both romantic and professional, with Tony Rebel. Together, they co-produced the influential Rebel Salute Festival, shaping one of the world's most respected reggae events. Their union also produced 2 children, Tanzania, Tanzi, who has stepped into the performing arts, and Malali, their youngest son. Her eldest child, Meru Tafari, from a previous relationship, has since become a reggae artist in his own right. In May 2023, Queen Ifrica and Tony Rebel announced their split, ending a relationship that had defined much of her adult life. The separation was followed by public tension, including social media clashes involving Rebel's children, exposing fractures that had long remained private. That same year, her life took an even more seismic turn. Queen Ifrica publicly alleged that she had been sexually assaulted as a child by her father, Derek Morgan, citing the experience as the inspiration behind her song Daddy. The allegations were vehemently denied by Morgan and his legal team, and in 2024, he filed a defamation lawsuit against her. By 2025, the case had escalated into one of the most high-profile legal battles in Jamaican music history, with Supreme Court proceedings scheduled for July 17, 2025. The controversy added to an already turbulent public image. For over a decade, Queen Ifrica has faced backlash for anti-LGBTQ+ remarks, particularly following her 2013 Grand Gala performance. These views led to cancelled shows across Canada and the United States and sustained criticism from human rights groups. More recently, she stirred debate with polarizing social media posts, including one appearing to support American commentator Charlie Kirk and public criticisms of Jamaican media figures and fellow artists, whom she accused of eroding cultural and moral values. Financially, her net worth is estimated between $1 million and $5 million, built through album sales, royalties, international touring, and over 2 decades of involvement with Rebel Salute. However, her legal challenges have complicated that picture. In 2024, her attorneys argued in court that she was a person of limited means when opposing an order to post security for legal costs, despite her prominence. Queen Ifrica remains closely tied to Montego Bay and St. Andrew, Jamaica. The hills of St. James continue to appear in her music and interviews, grounding her identity in the place where her story began. Though details of her real estate holdings remain private, her long-standing role as a co-director and stakeholder in Rebel Salute reflects significant business involvement within reggae's global infrastructure. Today, Queen Ifrica stands as a figure impossible to simplify. She is an award-winning cultural icon, a mother, an advocate for children, and a woman entangled in unresolved personal and legal battles. Her music carries the weight of testimony, belief, and defiance. Whether praised or criticized, she has never retreated from speaking her truth. And in that refusal to be silent, no matter the cost, her legacy continues to burn.